Hi everybody, it's Meryl here from Mez's Scrappers, and we're going to be doing a masking technique of a slightly different nature. So this is one that I'd made previously, and as you can see it appears that this fish is swimming behind this piece of seaweed and even behind the castle, and another fish here is swimming behind the treasure chest. So I'm going to show you how to achieve that without using cutout and 3D foam taping and layering over the top. This is all flat stamping, but we will be using some previously stamped and cut out shapes that match the images that we are using. And a little shell too. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ink up our block, our stamp on our block. And here I'm going to be using the castle, and you just stamp wherever you think you might want it. And now I want to stamp anything that is at the forefront of the image. Okay, so in this case, the castle, all right, and the seaweed, that gets stamped first, believe it or not. Okay, now I'm going to just stamp up the other few images. So this is from our Stamp of the month for this month being April, and it is for what's it called? Officially Awesome. So I want a shell in front of some seaweed, and then I want to put the seaweed in. So I've just placed the cutout of the shell, and now I'm going to ink up seaweed. Yep, little piece come with it. And now I want to put a fishy in behind the seaweed. So I line that up, and I grab a fish that I want to stamp. I'll go with this one. And that is going to swim in behind. Okay, I've got a couple of, and now I'm going to put the castle. A couple of shells just went down, of course. So I've got that one there. And that's poking behind. And I'll do a fish in behind the castle. So I'll use this one. Yep. And we might put a fish in behind the treasure chest. Coming up behind, what do you think? And we might throw another one in for a bit of fun. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that for now, and we're going to do some colouring. So for the sand bed, I used, what did I use? Gold Brown Blend. So I'm going to start off just by creating the top of the sand. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then we're going to colour around. Give it a bit around the shapes that you've stamped, and around a bit of the castle. Now I'm using the light colour, which I hope is showing up on this video. And I haven't got too much backlight coming in from my window. So I'm just going to do a little bit so we're not here for too long. And And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the medium shade of the blend. So these are our Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends, and this is the medium. And I'm just going to put a little bit more of a border here, and a little bit of shading around some of the items that we've stamped. And then I'm going to use the dark end. The dark end I'm going to use just to put some little sandy dots. As I said, I hope this is showing up for you on the video. So we've got some colouring there. Then I used the Ice Blue blend for the water, and I've managed to smudge ink. So we will cover that with something else. So we're going to go very carefully around the stamped images. Give it a bit of colour in around here, so you can get an idea of what it could look like. So this stamp set, Officially Awesome, which is our April stamp of the month, is quite cute. Well, I think it is. And you can get it for $9 when you spend $80. Place an order for $80. Or it's $34. It's only available in April. So 30th of April, that'll be the last day that you'll be able to order this stamp set. And it really is quite a cute one, I think. All right, I'm just going to colour that area there and leave it. All right, I'm going to use the medium and just give it a little bit of shading in there, because of course we get light reflections and shadows in water as well. Now I'm going to use the Jade Green blend on the seaweed, and I'll probably discover that I've missed a bit of water as I go. That's easily fixed. So I'm not doing it, I'm trying to do it as quickly as I can, so it might be a little bit rough, but we don't want the video going too long because then it's boring, and hopefully it's not boring for you. Now what I did notice as well, there's a section of the fish which didn't quite stamp properly. So I'm just going to put a line in here. Okay, now I used the orange for this fish on the other sample, and this has white stripes, this fish, that's what I'm doing anyway. So I'm going to colour in, and hopefully you'll see that it looks like our little fish. He's got his fin going down there. Is swimming behind the seaweed. Oh, let's do his tail. And yes, I've missed some water, so let's get that filled in. Yep. And I'm going to colour one of these little critters with purple blend. the light, and then this is the dark. And I used the Coral Blend on our little seashells. And then gave it a little bit of extra colour. A bit of the red. I'm going to use the mid. And just give it a bit of shading, bit of standout. And then I use the light of the coral again to sort of blend it in a bit. You can use whatever colours you like. And I actually used this one here, which is the brown grey blend for our castle. I'm not going to colour the whole lot in, but what I will show you is that I added a little bit of brickwork, just random brickwork to the building, the walls, simply by, let's colour the roof. So I used the dark end and just did a couple of little dashes, different sizes, to give the impression that there's a little bit of brickwork going on. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to leave it at that for the moment. Of course, I will be colouring in all of the background so that the whole piece of paper is coloured. So can you see how you get the impression? And it's all flat stamping, all right? We're not stamping onto something and then sticking it down onto another item to give that impression of something being, you know, one fish being behind the seaweed and the seaweed being behind the shell, that shell being behind the castle, this fish being behind the castle, and so on. I hope you really enjoyed seeing how that technique was done, and I would love to see you having a go at it. I'd love to see anything that you do with regard to this technique. Just post it up onto Close to My Heart with Mrs. Scrapper's Facebook page. So we can all come along and give it a big love once you've done it. That's great. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you later.